Amy Thurman back again with 100 Days, 100 Emotions. Today we're on day 78 and we're talking about elation. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to hear this story. You're going to want to tune in for this. I can tell you that for sure. And I wanted to share that. Remember, one of the purposes of this series is to help us understand that we are human. We have emotions for a reason. They're there for a reason. We're supposed to feel them. We're supposed to learn from them. And so part of being human is having emotions and feeling them. And so it just makes you normal that you have emotions and that you're feeling them. Elation is one of those. I haven't talked about this much, but I talk about it in my story development coaching a lot, that all emotions have a frequency or a vibration. Some of them are lower, some of them are higher. Elation is on a very, very high level. And so I wouldn't be surprised if some of you feel like you maybe haven't experienced elation before, because it's a very, very high level emotion. But I hope that most of you have and that you can relate to this, because it's one of those that once you experience, you want to keep experiencing it because it's so good. Okay, so let's get into this, talk about elation today. If you would like to be a special guest, then please contact me either through a comment or send me a direct message, and I would love to get you plugged in. We can find an emotion that works for you. All right, so I want to introduce you to my new friend. This is Philip. Welcome, Philip. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Amy. It's great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Philip and I met through a platform that we both use for our business, and I'm excited to hear he's told me just a tad about his story. I don't like to ask too many questions at first because I want to hear it in the moment. Like, I want to be here and hear it firsthand. And so I'm excited for you to share, Philip, more about your experience. I want to, oh my goodness, sorry, my notes are like disappearing over here. All right, so elation. Today we're talking about elation. And elation is a state of exhilaration and contentment that can be so powerful. It's almost like floating on air. For those of you watching, can you relate to that? Have you ever experienced that feeling? When I think of this elation, what instantly comes to mind is the birth of my children. And especially my third one. They were all beautiful, but the third one, we almost lost him and myself. There were lots of issues. And so just the fact that he was born healthy and that I was still alive, oh my gosh, was such an amazing experience. And I literally did feel like I was floating on air. I was so relieved, that it was over and that we were both okay. But yeah, that feeling of floating on air, oh my gosh, it's such a good feeling. And like I said in the beginning, it's one that you want to repeat. It's like, oh my gosh, I love this feeling. Let's find more ways to experience this. And so, Philip, I would love to know your experience with elation and what it has taught you.
It is, you're absolutely right. It's an amazing feeling when you can capture it. And those moments it can change everything. For me, I wasn't expecting the feeling. I'll go through the backstory to get to the point, because I think it helps paint the picture and the context. So,
yes,
I played sports. I've played various sports growing up. Through the years, the main one that I played was rugby. So, common sports in the UK, growing in the US and other parts of the world. So we've just finished the Rugby World Cup. In January 2020, I was playing a match. I went to tackle someone, got my head on the wrong side. So normally your head, if you're going in to tackle someone, you're meant to put your head nicely on their bum because it's padded. I didn't. I actually got my head on the wrong side. So I got somebody's thigh straight into my face. Oh, wow. And we were both out on the ground. I came to, stiff neck, soreness and tension, because it was like, I can feel I've been in a collision here. Drove home, did physio for 7 weeks, went and got some scans and was told it was broken. So for 7 weeks, I'd just been thinking, muscle strains, this will ease off over time, get some physio, take it easy, wear a neck brace, all that sort of stuff. And then, was told actually C5, C6 vertebrae, I had a break. I was told needed surgery. It would be potentially 6 hours worth going in through the front and then flipping me over and going in through the back to do a plate and screw insertion. And I couldn't afford the surgery. So I said, no, and left it to heal naturally.
Wow.
And so I guess that's the build up there. The point for Elation though was 18 months later, I went to get a second set of scans, different consultants. I'd been referred by a specialist physio who had worked with the Springboks rugby team and various other professional sports teams. So he referred me into a specialist. That consultant had done some research of cases similar to mine because I had not had surgery and waited 18 months, got the scans, and he was like, I don't understand. It's almost a miracle, because he did the scans and I had full range of movement as I do. I have the same level of strength as a normal person. He was like, it's almost like you didn't have the injury. So my body created new bone around the break. And okay, my head is, and my neck is slightly twisted and it's impacting the nerve and I get sharp pains every now and again. But it was being told that it's almost a miracle and that it's almost as if the injury hadn't happened. That was the moment of elation for me, because it's like, I decided not to have the surgery. So always in the back of my head, it's like, has it healed? What's happening? I don't know. So to then have the scans and be told, actually, yeah, your neck on the whole, given what's happened, is absolutely fine. So that feeling of being on air, because I now had the knowledge of the situation, the fact that my body had healed, it was a state of elation for me, because it meant that I can then continue forward with my life and go, okay, what's next? And yeah, it is an amazing feeling.
Oh my word. Oh, this resonates with me so deeply because I don't know how much you know about my story. I think I shared a little bit.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, that I live with a broken neck because of an injury. I passed out and landed on my face on the hardwood floor, but mine went undetected for 6 months. And so my injury is in the dens, that little tiny bone that holds C2 and C3 to get like stabilizes your neck. And now you're sharing your story, and I'm thinking, what if I just wouldn't have had surgery? I wonder if mine would have, if it corrected itself on its own, because, oh, I so believe that the body knows what to do. It really does. Like, it's
I
so
believe
powerful.
that. I broke my ankle playing rugby. There's a string of injuries that I've had before my 21st birthday. The surgery was optional. I decided not to have it. So I have that, my body in the past has healed injuries, reasonably serious injuries. So I went into this going, I can't afford the surgery, so there's nothing I can do on that side. I do believe that my body has the power. I've done it for other things. Why not this neck injury? And so, I put my faith into it, and 18 months later, it was proved that actually, yes, we do have that power.
Oh my gosh. And that was what I was going to ask you is, was there something you did specifically? Like, did you really focus on putting energy into helping your body heal that area? Or was it just like, it's just kind of out of mind, it's there, but you didn't really do anything, it just kind of happened?
Just for me as an individual, I understand, the energy work and things like that. I don't practice. I don't necessarily feel it's the thing for me just because of the way that I view the world. So it was more a case of out of mind. I knew I had the power because I'd done it. But the less I focused on it, as in it wasn't a negative, the more I felt then that my body would just sort itself out and take, if I was constantly sat going, this is a negative, this is negative, this is negative, chances are it wouldn't happen. So for me, it was more a case of, yes, putting it out of mind and saying, body, you deal with it. I've got other things I need to worry about right now because, I run a business, there's COVID lockdowns, and actually I need to try and keep this business going. So body, you just deal with that stuff, and I'll try and deal with everything else. So yeah, it was more a case of put it out of mind.
That's fascinating to me. It makes me think of, there's a statistic that I read recently that said that like doctors that are oncologists that deal with cancer patients a lot, that a lot of them end up getting cancer because that's their focus. Like, they're focused so much on the cancer and the treatment that they end up getting it themselves. And so what you said fascinates me, because it's like, you're just like, okay, it's not good or bad. It just is. Body, you know what to do. You take care of it. I'm going to let you handle it, and I'm going to go do my thing. And I think that's so powerful, because so many times we try to control things and we want things to happen the way we want them to. But if we allow the body to just take care of it the way it automatically knows how to, then it will. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Sometimes it is about giving it that time and space. So, I stopped doing a lot of the physical exercise and things just to give it that breathing room. So it's only in the past probably couple of months that I've started back in the gym properly doing upper body work. So I instead said, right, actually, let's go and use my legs. Let's walk. So I started, doing walks and things like that outside. Obviously, during lockdowns, that was one of the few things that you could do.
Right.
So again, I tried to give it the time and space to just do its thing.
Wow, my brain is exploding a little bit here, just so you know. Like this is really blowing my mind, and I think it probably is blowing everyone's mind who's watching. But also because I have this injury, and mine is it's been almost a decade. It's been 8 years since my surgery, and it's still not fused. Like my neck is still it's still broken because it just hasn't fused. And now I'm thinking maybe I need to try this. Maybe I need to take this approach because I talk all the time, almost every day, about living with a broken neck. And am I giving too much attention to it? I'm thinking out loud here, y'all. Literally, I'm just like, wow, wow. I'm so fascinated by this. And in all honesty, I need another surgery. Like it's becoming it's interfering with my life in a way that I need another surgery. So I'm
Mm.
thinking, man, okay.
Well, again, maybe if you change that narrative of I had a broken neck, now it's fine, what actually happens in the background? Because that was almost the story that I told to everyone. It's like, yeah, I broke my neck, can't feel the pain now, it's okay. Obviously, internally, it was creating new bone, it was mending itself. It wasn't a case of I have a broken neck. That is the here and now. I was trying to move on from that, say, actually, I don't know, there's no pain there, so maybe it's okay. Since I got the scans, obviously I know the situation, but up to that point, I knew it had been broken. I wasn't sure about what was happening, but I knew that I had no pain. So again, the narrative for myself and for other people was, yes, I had broken it, but now it feels okay. So again, I wasn't dwelling on the negatives or the almost the past state.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. Oh, it's making me question so many things right now. I'm like, I want to be taking notes, just ravenously taking notes because this is so good. I know that you mentioned earlier that you have a book. Is this what your book is about?
So the book, I guess, is a lead on from this. So the introduction talks about the injury, but it also talks about some of the changes that I've made in my life over the past couple of years. So neck injury, COVID lockdowns and struggling to keep the business going, starting personal development and being asked some tough questions like, what impact and contribution have you made to the world? Again, started me on a journey to say, okay, what can I do? How can I contribute? So for the past, I guess, 2 years, I've been looking at how can I use my knowledge, my experience, my story. So the book releases the end of next month is about 12 chains that hold us back in life. So fear, perception, pressure, relationships, knowledge, convenience, all of these sorts of things that we don't always recognize that impact us and our ability to do things. I've broken through some of them myself on the back of the injury and starting the personal development and breaking through fear to write and publish a book. I had no idea. I hadn't done it before. I released my first one at the end of last year. I'm now on to my second one. So it's like, okay, I've broken through some of the chains in my own life. Perception. When I go out, I wear flowery shirts and bright colored trousers because I don't care about people's perception in that way. I've broken through that chain. So it's like sharing my story of breaking through the chains, but also then trying to help others see them, because as you'll know, sometimes once you see things, you can't unsee them. So then it's like, yeah, now I know about it. I can start to make changes. I can start to do things differently. So my goal is to help others uncover those chains so they can go, you know what? Yeah, that person at work, I need to spend less time with them because actually they just drain me. I don't want to be around that. But it's about taking that step to say, I've now recognized that situation. Okay, now I can do something about it. So yes, that's what the book is about. And it's, I guess, that journey that I've been on over the past couple of years since the injury.
Oh, that sounds so amazing. I was hoping that you would include part of your story in your book because it's so profound. Like, literally, I feel like I need to pay you right now. Like, I'm having a little therapy session here with you. So good. Oh my goodness. Why don't we go ahead while we're talking about this for you to share with them what you mentioned a little bit what you do, but what it is you do and how they can contact you if they would like to, number one, get your book and work with you.
Absolutely. So the book is called Finally Find Freedom. Be coming out the end of November. The Kindle version obviously needs to check the print version, the paperback, and make sure that it's all okay. That journey that I've been on, I am now a coach and an author. So my whole focus is about supporting people who are on their own journeys, but trying to find freedom, or whether that's breaking free from the 9 to 5, uncovering the chains and thinking about how they can make changes in their own life. Maybe it's freeing up time to spend with family. Again, I did some research for the book, and that was one of the main answers that came back. It's like, how would you like to spend your time? More time with family. So it's like, okay, so how do we help people do that? So the chains play a part of that, and I support people in understanding how to break through them, how to make changes in their life. So coaching is now a big focus for me. It goes back to that tough question of what impact and contribution had I made. So that is now what it is that I'm focusing on. I have a community that I'm building, like-minded people who are on this journey. So I'm still trying to break some of the chains myself, support other people on that same journey and finding freedom for themselves. So there's, I guess, 2 websites. The first is my personal one, which is philipwride.com. And the second one, it sounds cheesy. It's the Freedom Hunters Club, which is, again, that's sort of a membership community that I'm starting to build. It goes in line with the book. There's a program in there that mirrors the stuff that's in the book. So there's exercises to do of identifying the chains and how to break them and things like that.
Right.
Yep.
Is that right? Okay.
Yep. So yes, this is now what it is that I'm doing to support others on their journey. You know, freedom has always been the highest level value for me. I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 16. So it's like, okay, yes, I'm working and I'm finding my freedom. Moving out to Dubai was great for me. It's sunshine most of the time compared with the UK where I grew up. So again, taking steps to find the freedom that I'm looking for, and then supporting others on their journey as well.
Wow. That's so I love that so much because I feel like because I feel the same way. Like I have been through so much. I need to use my experience and my story to help others, to share with others what I've learned through all of the trauma that I've been through. And I think that's like your heart is like that too. You just want to help people. You just want to use what you've been through for good to make a difference in the world. And I really get that sense from you because I feel that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, that is what it's all about. Some of it, we've been in a similar position with an injury. Okay, so that's part of it. I've had 2 businesses that I've closed down. I've completely restructured my business through COVID. So there's experiences that I've got there that I can share with people who, want to try and break free of the 9 to 5. It's like, here are the things I've learned. Here are the things that you shouldn't do. Here are the things that you should think about, and yes, it's about sharing that learning, that experience to be able to support other people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so your Freedom Hunters Club, is that is it like on Facebook? Is it on a different platform? Is it something
It's on
they
a
can
different platform.
Okay.
So it's an enclosed community. Every month I put new mini courses in there. I do, Q&A sessions and live trainings and things like that. So it is a membership community. So it's for those people who want that support and guidance on their journey to freedom, opportunity to ask me questions, get feedback, hear more about my journey, go through the exercises that are in the book. Again, that's replicated inside the community as well. So if you prefer a video version, that's in there. If you prefer a written version, the book's coming out the end of next month. So yes,
Okay.
it is all about that. So there isn't a Facebook group for it at the minute. There may be if there's a request from people for that. It is a closed community so that we can keep some of those conversations private in there.
Yeah, I love that. I really, really like that. I think that's really important to do it as a separate community where it's just like-minded people. You're all in one place, keeping it all together right there. I think that's so important. And I'm definitely going to check it out. I think it sounds so, so interesting and helpful. I think it would be helpful for a lot of people. So thank you so much for sharing that. Oh my goodness, I'm excited to go check it out, and hope those of you watching will go check it out too. If you feel like you resonate with Philip and what he's saying and his story and how he can help, please go check out his website, and get more information there. Oh my goodness. Like I said, this has been so informative. I have loved all of this. My brain is still worrying. After I get off, I'm going to like literally make notes like crazy. So good. All right. If you have
All you
watched these,
remember, Amy, all you have to remember is your body has the power.
yeah. Yeah. Like that stops me in my tracks right there. Like it's what I'm telling it. Like I'm telling it a different story right now.
Yeah.
So, ooh,
But
make me emotional.
that story, that goes for all aspects of life. The stories that we tell ourselves. I've just
Right.
told you a story of how I got to elation, which is obviously the topic that we're talking about today. Have I experienced it in other parts of my life? Probably. But that moment that I've shared is probably is the most profound because of the journey that I've been on. So yeah, it's an amazing feeling when you again, it's unknown as to when you are going to experience it, but when you do, it can change everything. I now look back through everything, and I've got to that point where I now accept that the universe has a plan. I don't know what that plan is, and there'll be ups and downs and twists and turns, but the very fact that I've been able to come through that situation, yes, I had that moment in time where I was elated, and I've moved on from there. The whole thing, and I guess that moment of elation changed my whole perspective on everything.
Right. Right. And I too feel like I'm just kind of along for the ride of whatever the plan is, it will happen for me. And so, yeah, so beautiful. Oh my goodness. For those of you who have watched before, you know what's coming next. If you haven't, I use an AI image generator to create an image that represents the emotion or the feeling of the day. And so today's is about elation. It always blows my mind how this generator does this. But there's always some aspect that we can pull out of the emotion that we're talking about. Just looking at the images, you don't really see it, but if you see it from that lens, we can always pick something out. It's like art therapy. Like you're looking at it, there's no right or wrong answer. It just is, your assessment of it. And so let me pop this up and then I'll full screen it and we will take a look at this. This is what it gave me when I asked it for elation. And I'm just like, yes, absolutely. Like the center of this, that focal point where the sun, it's almost like exploding. Um, is so mind blowing to me. It's just so interesting. Is there anything that jumps out at you, Philip, that in regards to elation?
There is actually. So, yes, the focal point, but I'll tell you what I see as well.
Yeah.
In between the trees at the bottom, for me, the purple, it could be pink, and the blue, they're
Uh-huh.
paths. That's the journey we're on. And then we'll get to a point where we look up and we see the center of the image. And it's that
Mm.
moment of amazement, wonder, elation. We're so focused on where we're going and we follow that path, and then we get so far and something happens that breaks us out of that. And that's where we start to feel things like elation.
Oh, that's so good. This is one of the reasons I do this part of the series, because it brings up things that we haven't talked about before that we wouldn't really otherwise see besides looking at an image like this. And it's so true. You're so right that the path, it's pretty dark. Like at the bottom there where the path is, it's pretty dark. And that's pretty much how life is for the most part. It can seem dark and we're just going along, trotting through. And then all of a sudden when we look up, look what's there. It's something that we didn't expect. And it's just such a beautiful thing. Oh my goodness. I love that so much. I did not pick that up at all, but that's one of the reasons I love this is because other people see things in this that I totally missed. And oh, thank you for sharing that. It's so, so true. It's so beautiful. Wow. Let me pull this off here. Get us back up there. Oh, this has been so good. So good. Those of you who are watching, I hope you are enjoying this so much. If you have found it helpful, please share it. If you think it will be helpful for other people, please share it so we can get this message out to other people. If you would like more information, again, to reach Philip or to work with him or to be a part of his Freedom Hunters Club, then just check out these websites and you can connect with him there. I will try to tag you, Philip, in the descriptions, and so they can connect with you on social media as well. So, thank you again for being here and for sharing all of your insight and your wisdom with me and just literally changing my perspective. You have changed my perspective today. You have helped change my perspective. And I'm so, so thankful. This has been such a gift to me today. I want you to know that. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here to help.
Absolutely. Well, you have been a huge help today, a huge help. Oh, all right. Well, I think that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you would like to be a special guest, please reach out to me through a message or a comment, and I will get you plugged in. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, I will be back with another emotion. Bye.